Hello everyone, let's go through the market real quick. So I got filled on my Bitcoin long, sorry, um, at the 4-hour value gap, the one I mentioned in my last video. It's still holding the position. The reaction down here was not as strong as I was hoping, so I think this may actually turn over. For those who are worried, you can get out in slight profit right now. I'll just let it run because it's difficult for me to read the direction of the market right now. I tend towards the downside, but I still will keep the long position live. And the reason why I'm leaning towards the downside, let me clean all of this up a little bit. All right. So if we have a look at the price action since January, and I have shared this in the channels already, but if you look at the general price flow here, let me change this to premium discount and disable the extension. So of every, well, to keep it simple, move up or a wave or a dealing range, if you so like, there is a premium and a discount area, basically divided by the 50% retracement level. So in January, or the move that started at the end of December, we see that it ran up, then retraced to 50% or slightly below 50% mark, and then took the next leg up. So a lot of people got shaken out of their positions here. Probably a lot of liquidations too, and that liquidity then was used as fuel for the next push up. And similarly, if you have a look at the next leg up, if you measure it, 50% is right here, and the same thing happened. So we have it here, we have it here, the dip under the 50%, and then the next leg up. Again, this is to grab liquidity, liquidate some long positions, and also scare people that we will drop lower, so everybody starts piling into shorts, and then the market just rips into the opposite direction. And if we measure the move that we are currently watching, let me change this a little bit. Right at the prices. So currently the 50% mark at the latest range, the current range, is at $28,366, at least on Binance. For some other exchanges, it may be a little different. But so if we have a look at what we have seen since December, it would kind of make sense to see price dip slightly below this. Also, there is a fair value gap here, the daily fair value gap I mentioned before. So that would be something like this. Let me change this. So between 28,350 and 27,150, give or take, there's a fair value gap. It's just beneath the 50% retracement level. So we could kind of see a dip towards 27.8, 28k probably, if this pattern will continue to repeat itself, and then with that fuel get the next leg up towards 34, 35,000 maybe. So I keep this in mind. I'm not short on Bitcoin right now, but if we get the dip, I will probably, first of all, I will be stopped out of my current long that I took on the 4-hour time frame, which is okay, and then I will be waiting for additional longs down in this region here, when probably a lot of people are gonna call for lower levels. I've already seen the 15,000 mark being mentioned again, and overall, if a big recession starts and everyone starts to de-risk out of the risk on assets, and crypto regulations don't get clarity, or very strict regulations are get implemented, I can definitely see Bitcoin drop to those levels too. But technically speaking, right now, there is no sign for me that that will be the case. So at the moment still, I will remain bullish. And I'm a macro bear for those who read my content. I'm definitely leaning to the bearish side on the longer time frame, but right now this whole structure here is a bullish structure. There is no denying it, so I will play this game accordingly. Let's move on to ETH. Ethereum still holding the $1,824 mark. I think if Bitcoin gets that dip towards 27.8, 28k, ETH will also probably maybe revisit, not this deep, but maybe $1,700 or give or take. And my focus remains on Bitcoin personally, and XRP. So still not that interested in ETH at these areas. Link, which has been a favorite of many people recently, is retracing into the standard retracement zones. So if you have been patient, your patience is getting rewarded right here. We could even think that price will retrace a little lower towards $6.50, $7, especially if Bitcoin gets that retrace that goes for all altcoins. But really, if Link would lose $6.50, I don't know if I would still be that bullish on it. But let me just give you the higher time frame view here. I mean, if you take the whole range from this swing low all the way to the highs, basically the 50% mark is this white line here, you see it, which is at $6.72. So I think we will go that far down. And whether or not we will retrace and further towards $5.70 if Bitcoin drops hard to 27,000.8k, it is possible. I do have long orders down here in this region. I have long orders in this region. So overall, I'm still favoring the upside. As long as Bitcoin can keep its bullish structure, I think it's just a matter of time that quality altcoins, not all altcoins, definitely not shitcoins, but the quality altcoins will also gain in value. Let's have a look at Litecoin, which has been correcting beautifully here. Yeah, so it got the full 79% retracement basically, which is an area where you can consider to long. Definitely if you take this retracement area as an area of interest, this is the best point, the 79% retracement. If it drops beneath this, it's pretty much going for the lows again. I'm not that interested in Litecoin anymore. I took a long the other day at I think it was the 4-hour order block at like $86 and 2 or 3 cents. Then got the little bounce, secured the position with a stop loss at break even right away, and then it got stopped out. So I'm currently not exposed to Litecoin anymore, and not that interested in getting back in either. XRP. So XRP also, finally, we got a nice drop beneath the 50% level here. Let me add the levels. and we are heading towards the 62%, 70.5% and 79%, which are just rounded up from the standard FIB levels that you all know. But it's heading towards there. I have buy orders scattered all the way until 56 cents in the system, and will happily buy in these regions because, as I always say, I'm not a part of the XRP army or anything, but XRP, the structure, the consolidation, the breakout is very bullish to me, and I think we will see new all-time highs in the coming weeks or months, probably more months than weeks, but it will depend on a Bitcoin breakout. If Bitcoin doesn't break out, usually nothing of the altcoins moves in a sustained, meaningful manner. So I'm still mainly focused on what Bitcoin is doing while accumulating XRP. The other thing that caught my eye just when I was checking some of the charts, so Uni had a nice run up and took out the liquidity of these relative equal highs. I mean, you could either even argue that these highs can be included in that too. So we see a deviation here, nice liquidity grab, strong sell-off, and now we have a tiny daily fair value gap here. So I think this could be a good place for a short attempt. Enter into the fair value gap, stops above the highs, and then you can aim at the resting liquidity under these lows. These lows, and once the partial take profit order fills at these lows, you can then move your stop loss to break even and then keep some for here. These equal lows look very nice, and here, and then maybe you can get all the way down here, but you can also use the optimal trade entry area as for confluence. So let me clean it up to make it a little easier on the eye. So the 50% level for sure can be targeted here, I think, which is already under our first take profit under these lows, and then it's actually right in the vicinity of the second take profit level area. So a good 20% drop, I think, is quite possible for Uni from here. So I will be waiting for a short entry in this fair value gap, and then yeah, 50%, probably even 62%. So my final TP may be here. It's a 24% gain, and with the stop loss being around 6.4% away from entry, I think a good 10x leverage, and if it plays out, it should give you some good profits. So lastly, I want to touch upon the stocks I had a look at, I think, last month. Just a second. Okay, so there we are. I have some internet connection lag, I think, here. Just have to wait for a second for the annotations to load. So one was Johnson & Johnson. I pretty much misread that chart. Yeah, so I was waiting for price to drop down here, but it went into the opposite direction. Then I thought, okay, maybe it's gonna make a lower high here, but the structure is just way more bullish than I mean, it turned more bullish than faster than I anticipated, so I never got the fill here. You can pretty much forget about this chart and the Coca-Cola chart. Yeah. Okay, my annotation should show up soon. Kind of have a storm going on here right now. That may be the reason. Yeah, so either though the initial move went into the opposite direction than I was hoping to, the pullback here almost came to my area of interest, but my alerts never got triggered, so I missed this because I was not actively monitoring it. It's a daily time frame chart, so these things take too much time to play out, so I do not often recheck charts if my alerts don't get triggered. And so I would say pretty much I missed this opportunity too, and we can forget about Coca-Cola as well. I'm very excited about UNI, especially if Bitcoin keeps holding until the short on UNI fills, and then we get a quick drop to 27.8k. That could bring UNI down nicely already to our first TP area. And I'll see you again next Wednesday. Have a nice weekend.